Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. The big news of the day, of course, is that we have, following the exit of the Inspector General of Police, having resigned and it having been accepted by the President, we now have an acting Inspector General of Police in the person of Mr. Olatunji Dizu. Okay, so it's been all the news, and I guess the matter really is that he is well known to the President, just as the outgone Inspector General of Police was very well known to the President, and the President has vouched for him in terms of the level of his competence. I don't know if our guest is in place yet, but Dr. Ofoyetan is going to be our guest this morning, the DG of the Institute of Professional Security. Good morning, Dr. Ofoyetan. Well, such being the case, I understand that Dr. Ofoyetan is about to join us. Now, of course, it is also well known by now that the Inspector General of Police, or we should properly style him the acting Inspector General of Police, is arriving, in very swift succession to the outgone Inspector General of Police. And perhaps the interesting thing here is that all of this has come just it is said it's about 48 days to when he would have retired ordinarily, having reached the mandatory age of 60. But these are the way these things happen. He's a very fortunate person in that he has been appointed, and according to the 1999 Constitution as amended, he will serve a full 4-year term, having been appointed by the President. Of course, assuming that the Nigeria Police Council approves, and after that, his name will be forwarded to the Senate for their consideration and approval as well. It is generally thought that the Nigeria Police Council will approve. The Nigeria Police Council, by the way, was established in 1989. The President himself, along with the state governors, are members of the Nigeria Police Council. It is the highest body responsible for the supervision, organization, and administration of the Nigeria Police Force. And it's so I can't see a scenario in which they will have they won't approve. So he's very likely to be approved, and he arrives, as we know, and I think the President was saying so, at a defining moment of our security situation in the country. So the President places a lot of stock on him. In fact, let's listen to the President himself as he was speaking about this appointment yesterday.
Your declaration today is not simply a conferment of rank, but a solemn charge to serve Nigeria with courage, integrity, and unwavering commitment to the Constitution. I took this decision for you to assume this responsibility because I know your record. I believe in dedication that you've exhibited while you were in Lagos and I was the governor of Lagos State. And now you assume this responsibility at a defining moment for our nation's security, and expect you to strengthen the discipline, enhance interagency collaboration, and restore public confidence in Nigerian police.
The President mentioning a lot of activities about me, mentioning areas I've worked, mentioning successes I've recorded as a policeman, brought emotion to me, almost brought me to tears. It shows the President took his time to monitor officers working everywhere in the country, And it shows the president was throwing a challenge at me to go out there and do what I'm known for and ensure that I bring peace, recognition, and to the country.
My advice to the newly appointed Acting Inspector General of Police is that he should continue to show commitment to the things that we have been doing together. He has been part of my administration from the beginning. He was my PSO. He was CP in Rivers in FCT. He was the AIG in charge of my SPU. When Mr. President gave the order, presidential order, to withdraw police from VIP protection, it was Tunji Disu I called upon to ensure that presidential order was given full compliance.
The change of baton at the force headquarters marks the end of one era and the beginning of another. Witnessed by senior police officers, government officials and stakeholders, outgoing Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetukun used the occasion to reflect on the journey of the force under his leadership.
We strengthened intelligence-led policing architecture, expanded digital crime tracking and forensic capabilities, enhanced interagency operational coordination, reinforced internal accountability mechanisms, modernized tactical assets, and intensified specialized training across commands nationwide.
But the words of the acting IGP resonates deeply with officers and men of the force. In a cautious and sober tone, Olatunji Disu says, with the change of leadership comes enormous responsibility.
I am of the strong opinion that this is not yet time for me to be congratulated. It is not yet time because a heavy burden has been placed on my shoulders and those of my colleagues. It is not yet time because I know the expectations are very high. It is not yet time because I know we should not only meet the expectation but strive to surpass them.
The acting IGP goes further to outline the pillars of his leadership, placing emphasis on professionalism, modern policing, accountability, community partnership, and public trust.
You will not be asked to perform miracles with nothing. Leadership in this service, from this day forward, must be visible, accountable, and worthy of being followed.
As Nigeria confronts evolving security challenges, expectations are high that the new police leadership will translate words into action, restoring confidence within the force and rebuilding public trust. Sifon Essien, TVC News, Abuja.
Indeed. So there we have it. But just before we continue, I did say that we expect Dr. Tony Ofoyetan to join us. He will still be joining us. In fact, good morning, Dr. Ofoyetan.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for making time available for us. Thank you very much. We have on the line Mr. Joshua. Thank you very much, Mr. Joshua, for holding on all that while so that we could hear from you. Please go ahead now.
Okay, Uncle Yori. Good morning. And,
good morning.
Good morning to your guest who is coming on. I just want to say that for me, this is a critical time in the architecture of national security. To be honest with you, Uncle Yori, I didn't know exactly what the tenor of the Egbetukun stood for. I cannot say exactly. I mean, I commend him for whatever jobs he has done, but I really didn't understand the character of his tenor as an artist. I think the voice we had more was his struggle or fight with Anomoyele Sowore, for example. Sorry to mention that name. I wish such things will not continue again because it was a huge distraction. Every time it was about him being involved in the other. And we need an IGP that is focused on security. And I would just advise the new one, because when they come, they talk tough. I have zero tolerance for corruption. Citizens will be the boss and all that. And everything waters down. So he should understand, that is the new IGP, that without corruption, the police will perform well. Every problem of police is hinged on corruption. If you can tackle that problem of corruption, I'm telling you, insecurity will go down significantly. And then invest in technology. This is the age of intelligence policing. It's no longer about 1 million or 1 billion policemen. One policeman who is heavily equipped can cover a whole community. We need them to invest in intelligence gathering and equipment. That's what I've advised on the.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate your calling in, Mr. Joshua, and for holding on, because he had called in a bit early and said it didn't matter, he would hold on till. So we thank you for that. A good morning to you. Let me see your face now, Dr. Tony Ofoyetan. We have already spoken. I have seen your face through your voice. If at all possible.
Good morning.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Dr. Ofoyetan. So this is a new dispensation with our police, and interestingly, there's been a lot of talk. We should be looking, to the future now. But there's been a lot of talk about the manner of the withdrawal of Mr. Egbetukun. But interestingly enough, he was part of the handing over, and the spokesman of the president had strived to say that he was not pushed. He voluntarily relinquished the role because of pressing family matters. Okay, but now to the future, Mr. Disu is known to be something of a policeman's policeman, and he has his work cut out for him. The president himself said it, that he's arriving on duty at a defining moment of our architectural, of our security architecture. It means he has his work cut out for him. It's a tough job. He has been and I've heard nothing but commendation for when he headed the rapid response squad team. He's also been known for humaneness in discharging his duties. In fact, they even have his team at the time had the nickname of the good guys. You also, everybody who is into security is very familiar with Mr. Disu here. Maybe talk to me a bit about him yourself. Talk to me about the new, acting AIG. I'm sure you had relations with him, professional relations.
Well, professionally, not that I know him one-on-one, but let me start by congratulating both of them. Congratulating the 22nd IGP, and of course himself being the 23rd IGP now. I congratulate Egbetukun for a successful career that ended well. I also congratulate the incoming or the already in Disu Olatunji, the acting IGP. The little I know of him, I must tell you that the little I've known of him is that he's an operational police officer. In terms of his person, he's an extremely humble person. It's even a paradoxical thing. You see his face looks very fierce, but his demeanor is a very humble demeanor. He's a professional to the core. He has cut his teeth through a lot of operational, of course, like you said, he was in the RRS, FCID, that's, people that, have to do very core operational functions in the Nigerian police. He has worked severally, taking over from the current IGP, RRS, the FCID or so, what do you call it? Yes, I think I'm right. And now AIG before becoming the present IGP. I expect that his wealth of experience, especially from the professional perspective, would come to play here. I think my major concern is not with who is going out and who is coming in. My major concern has to do with the environment of operation. and you know, the circumstances of that would help him to succeed. I like him for one thing. He didn't speak tough. He did not come out with this, you know, bravado and all those stuff like that. And I think he is aware of the enormity of the job at hand. And you would see that is why he is saying, please don't congratulate me yet. Let me see what is on the table. Let me see what to do, and let me see how to surpass your expectation. I think he is looking for the congratulation after service, which to me makes a very good and sound mindset, knowing full well that you have also, you know, raised the bar, the standard upon which you are to be measured. Now you want Nigeria to measure you based on your performance. It's an excellent approach to me. And also the fact that he's also come out to say that he's aware of the welfare challenges of his personnel. I also want to believe that somebody at that level of consciousness will be able to be intentional about ensuring the welfare of its personnel. Because I will tell you that the Nigerian police happen to be one of the poorest paid police personnel in the continent. So that means that they must begin to look inward. If we want the best from our policemen, then we should be able to give them the best in all its ramifications. So if the current IGP is looking at it from that perspective, I expect that he will succeed, because once he's able to boost the morale of his personnel, they will give him the best. Then, of course, another thing I expect from him as the new IGP is to understand the terrain and the complexity of the terrain, and to be able to navigate it in such a manner that he's not going to be competing with other security agencies, and be able to navigate the political class professionally, because that is most likely going to be one of his major impediments as he assumes office. He is going to be looking at security from political perspective. And why I said so is because I see him as the police officer that is going to conduct elections as it is now. So he's coming at an extremely critical period of time where the whole of Nigerians are looking forward to him being a professional police officer to the core, you know, able to dispense policing irrespective of whose or is gore, and at the same time in such a manner that he's not being accused of either, you know, nepotism and biasness, you know, and favoritism and all those stuff. So he's sitting on a very extremely hot seat as it is now. In short, I want to believe that Dr. Kayode Egbetokun will feel relieved that that very heavy burden is off his shoulder as it is. But I believe that for Mr. President to take somebody like Disu, he's been known to Disu for quite some time. So it's not new to him. He has gone through a lot of all these challenges. I expect that the advocacy for professionalism, modernity, and all those stuff that he spoke about during his acceptance speech, he will begin to itemize and implement them one after the other. Modernism to the extent of equipping the police force with modern equipment, ensuring that the policing go e-policing, ensuring that they have modern technology. The application of technology should be a core in the police agenda as we speak today. We are still talking about analog policing in 2026. I don't think it makes a lot of sense. By now, I expect that all police officers should be able to be carrying body cam. It's a normal crime, normal thing in any developed crime. As we speak today, we should not be thinking of did the police do it, did the police not do it, did the citizen do it, did they not do it. If you have body cam worn by all police officers and it is statutory, it will reduce it will help the policing in proper, you know, rule of law enforcement, human rights, and the reduction of human rights abuses. It will help in the investigation. It will bring up professionalism in the police and police officers and policing system in the country. So let him, as the new IG, make that an intentional agenda of his. We talk about, there are many platforms. There's the citizen policing platform, which the police should think about and should begin to implement a distress software methodology where every citizen in Nigeria can, you know, just make a trigger alarm and it goes straight to the police headquarters or to the police command, and they have a response team that will attend to them. Now that will help in terms of kidnapping. You discover that the level of kidnapping will reduce, because once the citizens and criminals know that they have the option of triggering an alarm that goes straight to a central policing system, it will reduce in its totality anything that is called robbery, kidnapping, and some other crime. And of course, it will help in terms of emergency, maybe like fire, like flood, and all other forms of emergency. Let the police look at such software and develop it in such a manner that every citizen have it on their phone. These are things that we are looking forward to in modern policing system. And this issue of police, they are not well dressed, they are not well kitted, they are not well paid, they are not getting money and all those things like that. I think it should be things that should be downplayed. Then, of course, the major monster in Nigeria today, which is called terrorism. The police may not be able to single-handedly do it, but the police is expected to be the forerunner, because this is an internal security challenge. So to that extent, let the new IGP raise special squad. I'm not talking of special squad, expanded, well trained in the art of counter-terrorism, and that should be their exclusive responsibility. We don't want to see them in the cities. We don't want to see them other than doing what? Working with NSA and working with other security agencies to tackle security terrorism to the barest minimum, and let their response time reduce. The response timing of the policing is one thing that I think they should look into. If there's an attack in a community, what is the response time for the police responding? Because these are some of the challenges that we'll be having here and there. If the new IGP is able to reappraise the response time, look at the response time, revisit it, and reduce it to the barest minimum, and kit his officers to the teeth with modern weaponry, well-trained, understand technology. If he's able to do that, I'm sure that he will do very well. I think that's just my introductory part of it. Thank you.
It's a comprehensive introduction, Tony, expectedly, because you've been following the security scene. And as the president himself said, Mr. Olatunji Diso, he's arriving at a defining moment of the nation's security. Now, the good thing here is that all of these things that you've spoken about just now, Tony, Olatunji Diso is going to be very, very familiar with them because he's been within the system. So he's aware, perhaps he's going to now be even more aware of the capabilities and perhaps some of the weaknesses that will need to be addressed now that he's come into this level of policing. He's had by all accounts, an excellent record of service. He's a very up-and-doing man. When you look at some of the things that we even now know about him, he's said to be very humane, and I think that's very important. He's said to be very humane. He said, it is said that, remember when we had the crisis of confidence between the police and the citizenry, he was reported to have deployed police ambulances to help those citizens who had somehow become the worse for wear in the ensuing confusion of some time ago. So he's that kind of a man. And but I suppose right now his biggest kind of promotion is when the president himself said that he is very well aware of the capabilities of Tunji Diso. And so he's, the president has just said that he's a round peg in a round hole and has put expectations upon him. But as you pointed out, again, alluding to the humility of the man, you had noted that he was saying that, look, it's not a small job. Let me see the lie of the ground and then see what can be done. But either way, he is known to be the type that will attack the job on hand with gusto. But Tony, talk to me a bit about the fact that the way these things go, I said, among other things, that Mr. Olatunji Diso is a very, very fortunate policeman to have reached the zenith of his career unexpectedly. He himself said so. But then he did have to jump about 7, 8 steps to arrive there. Give me your general, perhaps a summary of your commentary in that regard.
Well, like you said, he's a fortunate police officer. There's nobody that can, give any further analysis other than to say he's fortunate, except for the fact that, of course, it's not new. It's not the first force to move from AIG to IGP. The only challenge we have, and I think that the government should really be revisiting, is when we have to retire many of our trained, extremely trained senior police officers before their time. There's nothing wrong in that, except for the fact that maybe the government should now begin to look at, some other rules, because the government has spent a lot of money training them. We've had instances where even from the same thing is applicable in military, in the soldier, in the army, in the Air Force, depending on who the president feels more comfortable working with.
Yeah.
So for me, it's fortunate. And I think that one thing that becomes an advantage to the government is, one, you have the advantage of having this young, intelligentsia, professional, still with fresh blood, not thinking of retirement just immediately, coming to at the helm of affair with that energy. So it's a major advantage if he's able to use it, and I believe that he will be able to use it to the advantage of the police and, of course, the nation at large.
But Tony, I beg your pardon. Before you continue, I beg your pardon. Before you continue there, it's quite helpful that you're also a lawyer, and so by that I mean familiar with the Constitution. I was hearing that aspect of when a person retires, certain people become casualties of that it might not actually be the case this time around, that we don't have to lose these highly trained people that you were talking about. So I don't know if you've heard anything professionally among your legal colleagues about this whole matter, or if it is misguided to think in that regard. I believe that the Constitution actually now helps out, that we don't have to lose those he has now jumped ahead of as a result of his elevation.
You see, legally speaking, the new Police Act is such that the president can appoint any IG, and the IGP, for example, can be with him for 4 years, irrespective of whether is, I think, Section 179, 75 or so. I'm not very exact now. That the IGP can be with the with the president for as long as 4 years, as his tenure is on. He can spend the 4 years with the president, irrespective of when he is supposed to retire. Now, that presupposes that, for example, if the IG is 59 and is to retire in a year's time, that means that, and he was appointed like we have now, he can be with the president if the president still have 4 years. He can be with the president till the age of 63.
Yes.
And that becomes.
But how about those officers that he superseded? Is it indeed, is there facts to the idea that there's something in the Constitution that actually now has amended that notion of they have to go in order not to,
Well, I'm not aware of that. Okay. I'm not aware of that. But what I know very well is that in all military and paramilitary institutions, seniority is paramount. If seniority is paramount, that means that it is unconventional for a senior to salute and pay compliment to a junior. Now, irrespective of the posting or the position, there's a difference between when you are a political appointment and seniority as of rank and of age in service. So these are very fundamental issues that security agencies generally prime and pride in. So if we look at it from that perspective, the DIGs are his seniors. Now, if the DIG are his seniors and they have to work with the IG, who is formerly an AIG, and he's now pretending over their affairs. They have to come to his office. They must pay compliment. They must salute him. They must obey and do whatever he wants to do. The unwritten convention in security agencies generally is that you bow out. However, if the IGP feels that there are officers that he needs their service and they are humble enough to play and work with the IGP, why not? If not, there is no statute that will prevent them from working with the new IGP. If he chooses to work with them, and if they are humble enough to understand that even though this man was a junior, he is now a senior as a result of, or by the virtue of him being the IGP, I think that can also work for him. So it's more of an ethical and professionalism, conventional thing in the security agencies as a whole. Okay.
I'll tell you what, we'll just take a quick break now, Tony. I have on the line waiting for us Reverend Dominic. Good morning, Reverend.
Good morning, Chief Yori.
Good morning,
Dr. Tony.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Chief Yori, you can hear me.
We can hear you very well. Okay. We can hear you clearly.
If we expect this new IG to perform, well, we will only turn him to become a magician. I want to answer Joshua. Okay. I also want to answer Dr. Tony. Dr. Tony said that you have to go and make sure that the salaries and the equipping the police is top-notch. That is the constitutional issue. He has no power over the salary structure. He has no power over the budget. I know from 9 to 3 weeks, the budget of the police will come before him face to face. I will see the shortcomings. You know, I live in Alumosha here. I interact with my own police. Do you know when we talk to GPOs, the fear in our ears that they are even, the money they give to that budget cannot even take care of, fuel in a month. I mean, fueling their structures. Most of the divisionals has one healers. You're in that one healers, at times it helps the DPO to move around, it helps the senior officers to move around, and that's operational vehicle. You're if there is armed robbery in 2 places in the division, and you want to attention of the police, and the healers van took the DPO to maybe to a meeting with the commissioner. How do they work about it? You're again, this thing is one I'm saying this, I shake tears for police. Nigeria police is the best in the world. You go to a division, have you ever invited police with a phone call? I have the phone number of my DPO, but my division has no phone number. And I could have the phone number because I will go to ask for it. How else will go to police station and ask for the phone number of the DPO? And there's no phone to connect any division in the world. Will I do that? That is by the side. Listen to me. As long as Nigeria has no footprint of how to run the police, system, no IGP will succeed. I want to give you an example, Yore. You have a program in that TV. The pioneer host has left, Murayo. I was thinking in my head, how will your view work? But because of you, have a blueprint of BBC. The next host now is not following. He followed the blueprint. There's no way Dr. Tony will become IGP tomorrow. He brings his own idea to police. After he said 2 years, he left. Yori Fulani will become IG. He got his own idea. No police will me. This man cannot do magic. Joshua, this man will not do magic. As long as the structure is worked on, it's not right. We must find a way to fund our police. So at least have a phone call. In just basically, you cannot invite police with phone call. What kind of a nation is that? Good morning and congratulations to the new IG. And thank you for the Mr. President who found him worthy.
All right, then.
For the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Reverend Dominic. I hope we have more calls. I hear what you're saying, but we have to be as encouraging as we can be, but that's not just me. Even he himself has to, he knows it's a very, very difficult terrain, yet he has stepped forward, just as the president has said, that he has absolute faith in his ability to deliver. So all these problems are known, and hopefully he is listening, if not himself personally. I know that the police does listen to us as they listen to other television stations and programs, and especially keenly when they themselves up for discussion. Tony, without prejudice, yeah, Reverend Dominic did make a number of points that many Nigerians will be familiar with in terms of the operational, ability of our 370,000 strong police force up and down the country. You have any comments in that regard?
I think I said something similar. If you are working on the same template, same environment, same situation, under the same culture, you most likely may not achieve anything too fundamentally different. Don't forget that the IGP will not, venture into any major operation without the know of Mr. President. And I'm talking about this with respect to terrorism as it is now, because terrorism has its own different dimensions, to the extent that no service chief in Nigeria can be more Catholic than the Pope. They want to understand the body language of Mr. President. They want to understand his demeanor and his opinion about the situation before they take any fundamental step, especially with respect to counter-terrorism. So the same thing is also applicable to the IGP, and especially the new IGP. Now, if for example, we talk about state policing today, the president has made it overtly obvious that he's interested in state policing. I expect that the new IGP will come out with a robust template that will help Mr. President in actualizing that vision. That would also, put his name in history, as it were, and not the mentality that no, we cannot have state police and all those stuff like that, or begin to bring out argument against or counter state policing. This is one of Mr. President's vision. Why don't you key into that vision? Bring out template, raise up team from your own organization to be able to meet the expectation of Mr. President. And I also agree to the extent of funding. Funding is more or less like a recurring decimal when it comes to talking about policing. The budget of the whole of Nigerian police, it's too ridiculous, because we have more than 770 something local governments, 76 local governments in Nigeria. Now, each local government has not less than 10 to 20 police posts. So just look at, if you have to give them 1 million, so you can imagine how many millions will go. And then the question is, what can 1 million naira do in any police post?
I hear you. But Tony, one moment, please. Forgive me for interrupting you, but Chief Samson in Delta State has come on the line. Let's hear him. Good morning, Chief Samson.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Good to link up with your program this morning. Like I said, I am Chief Samson, and I'm calling from Ghetto community in Delta State.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
I want to thank Mr. President for the timely intervention in the change of guard in the Nigerian police force. The former IGP has tried this. No one can dance forevermore. He has done his bit, and the pattern has changed. I want to encourage the new IGP, Mr. Tunji Disu, to avoid the pitfalls of the immediate past IGP. He should try to be transparent in his dealings, because the president we have now encourages transparency in dealings with the public. He should make the public his friends. He should seek advice from those that can give him good advice to police the nation. And above all, he should take that part of the Constitution that says the protection of lives and property is the prime purpose of governance. I wish him well. I pray for him. The Almighty God that has been seeing his predecessors through will equally see him through. He will succeed. He's a young man. He's a vibrant man. From all what is read about him, I know he has what it takes to be an IGP in Nigeria in time as this. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless the new IGP, and God bless Mr. President. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chief Samson, calling in from Delta State. Tony, let me return to a point that you were making earlier. First of all, just referring back to Chief Samson there, Mr. Olatunji Disu himself has said that, he's aware that no police can really get very, very far without cooperation from the public. And he has this sort of a PR savvy kind of an image where it's been said that he's been very interested in engaging with the public. I was even citing the instance where when there was this sort of animosity between the police and the citizenry, he, under his command, had released ambulances to help hapless members of the public that had become the worse for wear in that particular encounter. But so there's that aspect to it, that this man knows very much about the human, the citizenry, and how their input is indispensable to the success of the police. Yeah, the police from other jurisdictions are constantly asking the citizenry for support, even to help solve crimes. We have such arrangements here. Maybe that kind of a thing can be refined. But I want to refer to something you said, that people in ranks in government, in positions like Disu's, are constantly looking in the direction of Aso Rock to the presidency to try and understand his body language. And at the same time, we're asking for professionalism. We're asking that we cannot compromise professionalism. There will be things that a professionally trained policeman, as trained as Olatunji Disu, and even those before him, will know that the president will not know, because they are the trained operatives. You probably heard earlier, let me just bring this totally, separate kind of an example. Take the UK, for instance, where they are having their troubles with the monarchy, and King Charles is the king of the UK. His brother, his own mother, his same mother, same father, when he was arrested, it was said that Buckingham Palace was not informed before the event. No looking towards the highest man to understand the body language of the king, maybe subtly ask his permission before taking action that was necessary in terms of the job at hand. Do you think that is the kind of thing that, well, that may be there, it can't happen here?
Well, not that it cannot happen here. It is possible, it can happen here. And but there is a caveat to it. And the caveat is to the extent that if the chief executive, which is Mr. President, allows it. Okay. I'll give you an example of anyway. Let me not go into those politics. I'm not talking about politics here.
Yeah, yeah.
But for the security chief,
we're talking about professionalism. How professional can a policeman be in our environment? I think that's the way to couch the question.
Thank you. I think that will help me a lot. Well, we expect, in terms of expectation, it is policing irrespective of whose or is God.
Yes.
Now that is the paperwork, and that is the theoretical part of it. But in a country like this, I want to tell you that the president of Nigeria is one of the most powerful presidents in the world. His words are more or less like law. After the Almighty God, I've always said the president is the next person. He is bigger than all the idols in Nigeria. So if the president is not in support of anything and you do it, no matter how good it is, you will receive the applause of the people, but you will receive what? The cane of the president. That is the way it works here. Unfortunately, that is not the way it ought to be. So what we are saying in essence is that you can receive the applause of the people, but don't also forget one thing. as a professional, you must balance it up. You must look at all variables. There's what we call the vulnerability and the risk analysis. Before you take certain steps, look at the vulnerability analysis, look at the risk analysis. Then you come to the solutions that are most applicable and most cost-effective based on your analysis. So if the IGP is, for example, going to launch an operation against terrorists in Borno, and there's a particular, ungoverned space that he needs to take over, he needs to first of all look at the variables that are applicable there, and such variables could include, the religious sentiment, the cultural sentiment, the political divides, and the impression from the presidency and all those stuff like that. If, for example, the political class, it may not even be the president, if the political class believe that, look, this place, you cannot shell them now until after election, because we need to get their 100,000 votes as it is now, and we are sure we are going to get their 100,000 votes. If you shell them now, we will lose that vote entirely. But the IGP believes that if you don't shell them now, they will spread and become multiple monsters. So professionally, he has seen it, he has analyzed it, he understands the implication of timing in security, execution, and intelligence. But the political class are not seeing it like that. He has an option. Go ahead, resign. Or alternatively, listen and stay.
Okay, Ada in Jos, good morning.
Good morning.
Adam, sorry, we seem to be getting a mixed audio feed, which shouldn't be. So sorry about that. We were hearing Adam not too clear. Now we're hearing something we shouldn't be here, but that's quite clear. I'm so sorry. The lines appear to be crossed. We'll fix that up. But coming back to you, Tony. Coming back to you, Tony, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you. Yeah.
Okay. So, I suppose it was put as discreetly as could be put that these are things that have to be done with wisdom in this environment here, even though the president is the person who is saying that he has the full confidence in you. He knows that you are a professional and you can do what you will do. And many people, actually, go along with that. I don't know. To what extent do you think this might hamper, if that is the word to use, the execution of his onerous responsibilities, if he has to keep on watching the source of power, such as you have described, because he will know some things that need to be done, but then the president probably will know a lot of other things that he is not aware of that could be indeed impacted upon. When Reverend Dominic called in to say that, what magic are we going to see if you're going to have to work in this kind of an environment? There's a sense in which you can sympathize with Reverend Dominic's view, but at the same time, that is not to lose hope and say, no, nothing is going to work in here.
Well, he will perform well. The only thing that he needs to do, and that is going to be my under advice, is to understand that let his speed be an analytical speed. Now, what I mean by analytical speed is the zeal with which he wants to achieve. Let it be to the extent that he's able to do the analysis in such a manner that those that ought to be, moved at gradual pace, he should move them gradually. Those that he had to attend to now, he attend to them now. Those that are of long-term plan, he should not think of executing them immediately. Now, I gave an analysis now. You have the option of waiting until after the election to execute. Now, the reason is also the same thing that Mr. President will be looking at. Mr. President is a politician. He is the first chief security officer of the country. But at the same time, he's also going to look at a lot of variables. The same thing you, as a subordinate under him, looks at a lot of variables to execute your security strategy. But at the end of the day, you will get it. It's just a matter of timing, and it's a matter of what strategy.
Okay, let me bring, I beg your pardon, sorry Tony, sorry to interrupt Tony. Let me bring on Chief Obayan in Alakuko. Good morning, Chief.
Good morning, Uncle Yeri.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling. Go ahead, please, quickly.
Good morning to your guest, I want to make a little bit contribution.
Sure.
Good morning, Uncle Yeri.
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Good morning, sir.
And
unfortunately, the lines are crossed.
Pleasant. So, my pleasant greeting to your guest there.
Thank you, sir.
If I may want to, good morning.
Okay. There's a network issue, and I did say that there's a program going on in my ear, it needs to be said, that shouldn't be coming into my ear, but we'll manage. I'll try and sort of mentally blank it out and as I concentrate on this program here. So, Tony, there we have it. People have said that they wish the new Inspector General, well, he's acting, but we're wishing him the best. It needs to be, it does need to be approved. It does need to be approved by the Police Council, the Nigeria Police Council, but there's every reason to believe that the Police Council, of which the President himself is a member, is going to approve. And then we go from there to the Senate, and it's going to be approved. So I guess we wish the incoming police the incoming Inspector General of Police the best in his tenure.
Yeah, well, we wish him the best. I personally wish him the best. I look forward to him surpassing whatever the distinguished former IGP Dr. Kayode Egbetokun has achieved so far. I expect him to also look outside the box, but I will basically emphasize more on the response timing of the police vis-a-vis counter-terrorism.
Okay. We're going to have to leave it there. That's a very important position. We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you, Uncle Yori.
Yes, sir. Response. Thank you very much, Dr. Tony.